Derivatives trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Good morning. Oh, you know what? I always get something wrong. I always think, okay, I got it all perfect. I always miss something somehow. All right. So, anyways, good morning. Today we got the inflation data. Should be a pretty big day. I assume we've been up quite a bit overnight. Equity indexes continue to move down just a tad from the sell-off they had yesterday. Pretty significant. My head is a lot better now, so there's that. Oh yeah, and protests in Hong Kong are going south, which deeply distresses me. Guten Morgen. Good morning. All right, so to the charts. Here you can see a little bit of a move down in the equities, a little bit of a move up in the treasuries. They seem to have once again found balance around that 127. Not sure if it's deliberate, but your banner had past performance rather than past performance. Did it really? Oh, I need to fix that. Oh, let's fix that. Wait. Okay, so let's go back to it. We got some time. Well, so that was an interesting down tick. 2 ticks down, but given that we got news in 10 minutes and it's doing that, that is like don't touch Seth. Okay, so let's see here. Sources, legal to properties. Past. Yep, you're right. Past performance. PERFORMANCE. Doesn't look quite right to me, but I think that's right. Now it should. Your bromide. I've had that up for like 2 weeks. You're the first person to notice. Thank you. Anyways, you know what else we should change this because we haven't made any money today. I wish there was a way to make it update automatically, but there's not. Anyways, so let's look at what we're looking for in the numbers, huh? Okay, so for Wednesday, CPI, we're expecting a reading of spot 1, and core CPI, we're expecting a reading of spot 2. So pretty much the same as what we were looking at in the PPI numbers. CPI tends to be move the market more than the PPI. I suspect, given that the CPI was pretty much in line, that it's possible that the CPI will either be in line or disappoint. And if they do, I think that move above 127 is very much possible. Tarek says it looks like you put your edge to use yesterday. Yeah, you know what? Yesterday, I think they just gave us a really good, easy trade to stick with. Now, it got hard on the profit taking because they actually stopped and pulled back a little bit before 8 ticks. And I thought about taking the profit, but everything that I saw in the E-mini indicated to me that they were going to try and sell. I think I took a big risk there by doing that, but my read was dead on. So I was pretty happy about it. So hopefully we don't screw it up today, but I'm still kind of thinking that we could move up. But you never know. I don't know. There's just a lot going on here. What's Donald Trump saying? The fake news have never been more dishonest than it is today. Thank goodness we can fight back on social media. There's a new weapon of choice: is fake polling, sometimes referred to as suppression polls. They had it in 2016, but this is worse. The fake news media said they had a leak into polling done by my campaign, which, by the way, and despite the phony and never-ending witch hunt, are the best numbers we have ever had. They reported fake numbers that they made up and don't even exist. We will win again. Okay. He might be completely lying about that, but we don't know. I think, though, there probably are some things in those blue states, purple states, let's call them, that are probably both encouraging and discouraging from them. Excuse me, hold on. Lucas says I can't seem to find trades anymore, Seth. I feel like the action changed a lot, or that I changed and can't trade. So, were you talking about just today, or was it like this yesterday too? The thing is, the action has definitely changed, right? The liquidity is still giving us pretty good signals so far, especially when there's news involved. But we are like since the middle of last week, yeah. Well, I started doing very poorly since the middle of last week, right? It's the summer now. I'm certain that that's what it is. As we've reached summer action, and the trades are a little bit different. So here's the thing. So in this action, my strategy at least is, if there's actual reason for it to move, which during the summer usually only means economic data, because the business cycle is slower in the summer. There's not a lot of economic change. The only thing that we really get is the business cycle, and maybe global events. But even that dies down in the summer, and has died down recently. Like right now, think about what's in the news. Like what is the mass hysteria going on right now? They don't really have the Mueller thing has kind of died down, and now the mass hysteria is the straight pride parade, which is pretty trivial thing, all things considered. That's the best that they have right now, but that's the mass hysteria right now. This one is a mass hysteria that's affecting both sides, but the news just doesn't really happen. So in that kind of context, the trade that you're going to want to look for tends to be the mean reversion trade, which means that it moves for no reason. It looks like the trade looks like all of the things that we were looking at before that would make you want to buy. And then as soon as you would have gotten in and gotten filled and everything, it will turn around on you. And so, it's kind of like that trade that we were talking about from Smash the Bid the other day. Is you're going to want to look, okay, here we are in a range. They got up to the top of the range, and the bid is stacking up unusually. You fade it, or put like a stop order so that when that bid pulls, you sell it. You sell into it and just take the range. And you got to bring your targets in, right? So instead of looking for 6 to 8, you're looking for maybe 3. That's what I've noticed. It moves on news, and it can't seem to read really well with the rest of the action. Yeah, because the rest of the action is just noise at that point, right? There's no reason for it to move. The hedgers aren't in the market. Okay, so there's a pull. So they're expecting this one to be big, I assume. Anyways, there's no reason to move and the hedgers aren't in the market, then it's really just, it's really just market makers messing with each other at that point. And that's not action that you want to trade. That's why I was saying before, probably gonna move over to sim at some point. I mean, the thing that's been funny is that we're still getting a lot of really wild. I don't know how do you say, really wild news and volatility. But when it's not actually moving, it's completely dead summer action. So it seems that even when you actually have news and a reason for it to move, summer action kind of sucks. Okay. Here comes the news. All right. I did not get hit. What's the number? What's the number? Forex Live always gives a yearly number, which is annoying. Okay, so the core CPI was spot 1 versus spot 2, and the CPI was spot 1 versus spot 1. It's not a huge difference, but it is a difference, and it's definitely causing them to buy. This is tough. It's kind of going in a range. I think that they could potentially extend from this range, but they could pull back first, and it's tough to take one in this area. And it sucks that I'm at 46 in the queue. Oh, man. Now, how is the equity indexes responding to this? They are buying as well. So they see this as a positive, which I think is appropriate. That kind of action could reverse later, though. Okay. So they sold down at 0.5 very easily. Not really hitting into 0.5. Okay. Well, I was literally at the front of the queue there. Because the only 2 hit and I got filled. So I must have been first in the queue. So far, it's acting okay. Good deal. Okay, so it moved up there a little bit too easily, so it's still acting range bound. Yeah, right there. Okay. A little bit of a change now. They might be able to make a new high. Good morning, Izzy. You're a little late. Okay. Okay. still a little light. And the E-mini, interesting. So the E-mini is retracing a little bit now. And Treasuries over here, I'm seeing that there was a little bit of profit taking at O2. And now some ranging behavior again. Ooh, I hate it when it does that. Okay, strong bid at 0.5 on the uptick. I've been here since I started. I've just been hiding in the bushes. Oh. Hmm. Nope. Well, I think I got a great position, but the 5-year doesn't seem ready to go yet. Okay. See, it's still, that's like range. It takes up 1,000 to trade it up. Okay, a little absorption at 1. So I thought that last uptick was okay, but see, that looks favorable. It's a good uptick, but it's not really following through on it, is it? It seems like there's just a little bit too much profit taking on part of the sellers on this. Fed funds futures show an increased odds of July cut after CPI, but not June, huh? Okay, so that downtick was pretty negative. Uptick not quite as good. Oh, okay, maybe they're going to go for it. That uptick even weaker. It looks weak, but then they still tick up anyways. It's kind of interesting. But that just kind of says to me, yeah, look, they could go back down just as easily. It really looks like the 5-year driving it here because they're ticking up with the 5-year, which I find really annoying, to be honest. Hmm. Okay. Well, it's been about 7 minutes now. Almost 10 minutes since the news, I guess. Starting to feel a little nervous. So down at the bottom here, and it's quieted down a bit. Well, they go for it. They take it down to 19 3/4. It doesn't stay there for long. The 30-year in particular has really sold down through here, but the spread appears to be steepening. Okay. So they have started ranging and moving up again. Okay, says the ES is only a small move below epoch. Okay. Some iceberging at a 1 this time. It's a little zipper there at a 1. $20 looking weak. And the 5-year not going for it. Curious. Okay. They do take it with 270. You're going to come up to that 21, and now there's 2,000 stacked. That's probably not going to just be able to trade through that. Yep. Down tick. The 30-year definitely lagging. Lucas tells Uzi to come out of the bushes. Like with those guys in that Fortnite game that just sit in a bush the whole game until the very end. Tisk, tisk. Okay. This is curious. ES is basically back to the price that it was at. Hmm. Okay, a little bit more volume coming in there long, but it's not able to tick up. So the 5-year ticked up and the 10 didn't. Not yet. I think that they may yet, though. Might take another hit or two. Yeah, look at that. So the spread steepened by a tick there in the FYT, basically. If ZB holds here and trades higher, ZN might make another run of the highs. If they get through this iceberg, I don't know. Okay, so the 5-year decided to come back for the 10. And ticked back up and a little bit more buying and still not a take. Oof. And down and okay. Yeah, the 30 year is really lagging, isn't it? It actually sold back and it's below its open price, in fact. If the 30-year catches up, that could definitely be the impetus for these guys to move higher too, but I don't know. At the moment, it doesn't look like they want to. Too much profit taking. And we're back to the bottom of this again. Yeah, bids are nervous in ZB. Well, I'm nervous. Good morning, Ace. A little early today. I don't know. They didn't stack behind us on the move down, so it's totally possible that they could move back up. But I would say that that action right there was not very, very positive, was it? Morning. Not happy about this. So 5 going to turn it around here. 5 really dropped there on that too. Okay. They're having trouble even holding 37.5. That's odd. I maybe should have, when I saw that iceberg at 01 and it failed, I maybe should have gotten out at 0.5. But like, it comes back so quickly, you know. What are you going to do? Who's selling this? Okay, well, they got through the iceberg that time. Looking at 28.80.75 short. It's kind of equilibrium price. Okay, well, they're finding 31.5 to be balanced, but the 5-year doesn't seem to care at the moment. The 30 dragged us down, I think. They've been flirting with 127s for so many days now, yeah. It's definitely a key spot. Like, not only is it a price where there's been a lot of business, but it seems like there are some people that think that it should stay above 127, and there's some people that think it should stay below 127. Hmm. Okay, so they hit into 31.5 and an iceberg saved it. I kind of thought that underperforming inflation would be a bigger deal to them. Will you stream today's 10-year auction? Oh, I'll probably be at work today. I forgot that we were still having the auction days, huh? But that still tends to move us up. I don't know. The equity indexes still look negative to me. They're not really moving, but aren't we basically at the news price now? Well, the news price was 30. Well, that's not good. Okay. Some stacking at 30.5. Noticing though that the 30-year is not really showing us much of anything here. Yeah. Now I'm seeing some big offers. You see those big offers at 01 half and 01? Suck. Well, that one didn't really give us a whole lot of clues until it happened, did it? I really probably should have taken a profit at some point, but I thought those offers showing up there, though, kind of make me think, well, I don't know. They were there up at like beyond the highs, weren't they? Yeah, they were just beyond the highs, and now he's moved it down to 01. So maybe he thinks that he's going to get 01, but it's just not going. Okay. Offer iceberg at 30.5. That's kind of odd. Yeah, Uzi says large offers in ZB aren't chasing prices down, so I'm doubtful this is a huge move. I'm of the same mind, but that doesn't mean that it's going to reverse and that we've got a really good trade long either, unfortunately. Kind of means that they could take any price that they really want. It's tough to call, though, with such impotent buyers. Then effers aren't trying at all. Well, there was an iceberg at 30.5 that they bought through. But that's kind of my question: is who's selling it? Who's selling that much? So I thought that when they got through the iceberg around here at 31.5, that could have been the thing that they needed to resume uptrend, and then it just didn't happen. I suppose, though, it's not unusual for them to push it back to the news price and bounce, or even test the other side of it. But the whole thing just looks kind of yuck, you know? Well, that's not how you want to get filled. Okay, that's better. ZB still not showing any signs of buying though. Now we got some size moving closer on the offer. So they've stacked a 3,000 at 30.5 now. That's curious. It's not causing any orders to go off though. Okay. In 53.22, it's low from previous sessions, and we're at lows in UB, so the trade might work. So the long. So the problem is that I definitely saw something in the 10-year. Here again, it's done it twice now. The 5-year, maybe. The 30-year, I got. Okay, so there's an iceberg at 153.21 in ZB. I just took another one on the chin. Yeah, they sold the 21. Yeah. So an ace just got out as the E-minis moved up. Hmm. Five-year having a hard time even holding 18.5. Yeah. So it's a be like that, huh? Shit. So here's that situation again, isn't it? Oops. Oops. Because I had that order up there, it wouldn't let me exit. It wouldn't let me mark it out. That was dumb. Either way. Mm-hmm. So here I'm looking to get out into an iceberg. Like, suck. Okay. So they kind of were starting to show. They were starting to show an iceberg, and like they were going to hold that iceberg and tick up, and then they thump. Yeah. Damn is right. No orders going off here. Yeah. I mean, I should be flipping this, right? I just lost 8 fucking ticks. So they used the news that should be bullish for treasuries, and they used that to sell it. Very curious. There's an uptick. Now that I've been finally stopped out, they're going to turn it back up and go to the highs. That's what they would normally do. But for me to buy it again here, they have to do something much more significant. And also, those offers moved down. It's like chasing it. No, well. And it down ticks. Now they're fighting it at 28.5. Now there's an offer at 29. Let's see what they do. I mean, that 28.5 is holding okay. The bid at 29 is actually gone now. Okay. Classic lure with that offer at 29. I think they may be right, Lucas. They were flipping it. The thing is, there's still some sellers there, 29.5. I think they had some good buy in there at 29.5, but if that doesn't go and hold, then you may just be looking at a pullback. Don't they usually go together on significant fundamental events nowadays? How big was that compared to the move yesterday? They basically retraced yesterday's move. Oh, UBS doesn't think the Fed will cut either. Hmm. This is. Hmm. Currencies, the 6J in particular. Oh no, that was the euro. The 6J didn't move that much. 6J took it off. Interesting that the 5 years come back as far as they have, and the 10-year doesn't want to tick up at almost at all. The 30-year really doesn't want to tick up. ES is red, gold is green, treasuries were green all night until now. That's not the way that's supposed to go, guys. UB is so bearish. Clearly do not understand what's going on here, guys. Well, now the level 2 is fucking with us. Look at that. I need to stop doing that. I can't believe that I ended up fighting that whole fucking trend. But the thing is that it didn't really. Well, I mean, those things moved down. I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with me there. But that was really bad. That was really bad. So you gotta sit tight. It's really odd, isn't it? The only thing is that the spread steepened. Well, I'm really confused. But I should have taken a short somewhere. Thing is, you look at that CB, they could go to 12. 12 is a spot. There's also 08. Yeah, the knob has been just wild. Holy shit. Okay. Well, you can't sell that. That's a possible reversal. If I had been short, I would want to get out there because that's too crazy. That's possible reversal. The trend is so strong, I don't think we want to fade it anymore. We faded it too many times. Hmm. I've had a trend before and it was so bad. The thing is, when you want to turn around and join it, it reverses on you. Those are the worst days. Yeah. Yeah. You know, uh, usually I'm not going to fight a trend for more than 2 ticks. For me to have taken -4 2 times is really unusual. I was really way too stingy there. And um I don't know. I mean, that could have been a reversal, but like, can I really buy it at this point, you know? And where are you going to sell it at? ES did turn a little bit there. I don't know. You see that, now you kind of have to wonder what the equities are going to do. Oh, you know what? I need to change something because it's time for yeah. Okay. So that's one thing. Hmm. No, they're not. They're still trading June. Oh, so I'm seeing here that part of the why the CPI missed was because people aren't buying cable anymore. So the news may have been not what we thought. So that kind of changes my view a little bit. I'm not so sure that this strong of a move down is justified, though. Well, ZB hit one target, which was that 13 from yesterday. They're selling 27. See, I am not seeing sellers on the offer getting filled at all. Still, even after all of this. Well, there I missed my opportunity. July is like 66% of it cut now. Well, they finally got over an offer iceberg. So I'm at once again in exactly the wrong spot. Here's equity indexes starting. Oh, I didn't even realize that's what time it was. You know what? I'm not. I think that those losses have affected me because I would that normally shouldn't make a mistake like that. Equity indexes are buying strong on the open. Look at them buy strong on the open. That was very strong. What the heck? Treasuries didn't tick down. And we tick up at 27. So, am I just this crazy? Or does the market. What the. Okay. You can tell I'm incredibly frustrated right now. Holy fuck. Just kill me. Fuck. Ah. Tch. Okay. Really, Ash? I'm just having a real bad day today. That's what's happening. Yeah. Well, we're watching the Treasuries. Probably about to get stopped out here. I'm getting fucked so hard today. That's ridiculous. I don't even think. Nope. I'm done. Don't say sorry. It's all my fault. I can't even. Why am I? What did I do? You can just tell how I've never been this mad. That was a straight up a complete blowout right there. I've never taken it that far, and I got completely screwed at every turn. That was so bad, and I don't even think that I necessarily took. I don't know. I cannot see it. I've been completely wrong every step. Hold on, real Yash. I want to explain to you everything that you're seeing, but I'm having like a moment. Fuck. Man. Fuck. I want to cry. I'm so fucking pissed. I can't believe that spike in equities on the open reversed. Well, I tell you what happened wrong was I took a trade going into the equities open when I shouldn't have. That's what happened. But yeah. I was doing okay and bringing things back, and I tilted out, and I lost too much. I can't trade it anymore. No, like I straight up, it won't even let me place the order anymore. So I shouldn't have taken that. I yeah, I screwed up big time. Really, those last two trades I shouldn't have taken. But yeah. No, smash the bed. I totally saw that. Like as it was happening, when it ticked up and it was like the second tick up, and I was like, "Fuck, I did it." I wrote it all the way down on the way down, and then I tried to reverse, and I'm going against it on the way up. But there was no way to know that that was going to happen there until it happened, and I was already in at that point. Yeah, no, it was live. No, I just I don't want to say blew the account, but I can't trade treasuries anymore. So I made basically the gist of this is I made $500 in May and then I lost it all. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can rewatch it. I don't even you can see it right there in the Vista chart, right? Another thing was that this big thing up here disappeared. I wasn't even paying attention, you know? I was, completely. The thing that messes with your head so much when something like that happens too is that it's always exactly the wrong spots. You know what I mean? It's normal. Yeah. You're right, but it's still. I should never let it get to that point, you know? I'm kind of like at this point just kind of thinking like maybe if I just express my anger well enough, I get it out of my system this time or something, you know what I mean? So offers gave way and bids started to stack really fast underneath of it as it was ticking higher. Yep. I had thought the fire of baptism, I really thought that I had already gone through that fucking last year. You know what I mean? But it's not that. I took more than I should be able to lose in a day. I wasn't paying attention and I broke my rule. That's 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 where I can say um was not okay. That's why I'm confident in saying that. This is showing me a reversal here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If it doesn't tick up this next time. Okay. 11, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And it's not filling me the other way. ZB's tougher did fall 12, and there was a resting bid there that pulled around 918. The market traded 12 to 10 minutes later and bounced. It kind of feels to me, though, that like when that equity market kind of flipped there, that it kind of turned on us. And they might turn. There's actually still a possibility that treasuries move lower. Like, that's kind of the funny thing. Sure enough, there's the reversal. It did it. I wasn't able to get out. And you have to be careful because of how fast it came back out. Speed is not your friend unless you're fading. That's why it's good if you catch the bottom to give it some breathing room. See, I think though here at 2 points, there's two major questions that I need to answer. The first question is, because these are all signs that I should have seen and could have reacted to, and I did not. So why is that? And two, why, when it's losing against me, how do I need to adjust when I exit? Because I'm taking the full stop too often. Deer in the headlights. Is that what you're trying to say, IQ? No, the thing is that I didn't want to trade. I was saying, I'm gonna skip out on treasuries for the summer. Now it's basically forcing me to do that. But this shouldn't have happened. Unacceptable. I'm so mad at myself. Says I got to be careful about beating myself up too much because I don't want it to turn into tilt for weeks on end again. You know what I mean? Equity indexes sure are acting odd today. Bromide says I wasn't following, but you said taking the full stop too often. Isn't that the point of a stop? The maximum that you're prepared to lose. Yeah, that's the maximum. But if I know that the trade is going wrong already, I can get out at -2, and on average, I want to be out at -2. If I start taking it at -4 all of the time, then the edge disappears. Well, this area is choppy, so couldn't take anything in there. Do you think the bid-ask histogram helps in identifying how orders increase/decrease? I turned it off. Not, I think it's pretty inconsequential. I just like the way it looks. uh, I don't even know what to say anymore. I'm really anybody that's watching that in the future. I want to make it clear. I took a trade there that one, I didn't realize that was would have been the fourth loser, and two, it was right on the equities open that I should not have taken. And two, I took the full stop multiple times. So I had the read completely wrong. I saw some spots. Um, the trend ended up being way stronger than I thought it should have been, and that's, I should be catching that short. Better than losing 20 grand. You'll be okay. Yeah. I mean, it's fine. I, I, I believe you will do well. I appreciate that you guys believe in me here. I I mean, the thing is, mm, I don't know what the thing is. No, the problem is that I've had some good times, and then when it goes and I do poorly, I do really poorly. And it's been a long time since I've gone against a trend like that. I think that I just like buying it a little bit too much. So it's not like, oh, you can't, it's the end of the world or you can't overcome this sort of a thing. It's kind of more like, I'm not really sure what to do about it. Because I was clearly doing something wrong there, and as it was happening, I cannot see why. When I look at it, it feels like that the market is just watching what I'm doing and doing the opposite simply because of me, which I know can't possibly be true. I felt like this last week when losing 8 ticks trying to fight a downtrend, fading all the way, and then being run over again and again. I lost confidence since you might need to cut size to one lot again. Yeah. The whole thing was is I put some money in the account, right? Um, Man, I don't even know. I think it's gonna just be back to what it was. But anyways, I put some money in the account, and I was like, okay, well, um, unless I get some really good edge, I'm probably just not going to touch it until maybe the end of the year. But then we caught that, and we caught some edge, and it was good. And then I kept trading, and I lost it, what I had made. So it's not like I'm out money out of my pocket. It's just I lost what I gained, but losing confidence, yeah. I don't think that it's confidence. I think that I've just lost the emotional energy. You know what I mean? That's pretty Crushing. I literally let me present this the different way. I lost 16 ticks there. It's unacceptable. And I have nobody to blame but myself. When you put it at that amount, you know? So I didn't realize at the time that that's really what I was doing, but and then to have lost the amount before and it says video will become a case study that will put Brett the Psycho videos. Who is that? I don't know, man. I mean, the thing is I can always turn around and I can put more money in it and I can try again, but it's not at this time of year. No, we can still trade the micro futures on the ES, and that's what we intended to do with this, anyways. But I'm just crushed. I feel so crushed. I came in that first trade that I had went 4 ticks in my favor. I caught like exactly the right spot in the range. I felt really good, and I really thought that it was going to continue through. And then slowly the whole trade just fell apart. And from my perspective, it felt like it fell apart for no reason. And sometimes that can just happen, and so I didn't really think much of it other than maybe I should have taken it break even or something. And then, I took another and another and another. So I just went from like feeling like I was turning things, because I had a bad week last week too, right? Going from feeling like and turning things around to like, what the hell is wrong with me? How did I let that happen? And I feel like um yeah, like trapped, like you have to do something about it. And I don't know if there is anything that I can do about it. Well, okay, I do know one thing. If I um trade with 2 contracts, that would make a big difference. Because I usually get +2. Watch, this one's probably going to fill. If that one fills 29.5, I can move this stop up, and we should have an in-depth discussion on trading rotations. So I definitely look at rotations, but it's always like being in the right, getting on the tempo, getting aligned with it. I was actually aligned with it. It's just that the rotations that I took were only like a tick. Like the one at 29 that I took before did give me a tick, for instance. 30 is the open price, and they're having trouble with that, so that's curious. So what they mean by rotation is, let's say we're in a range. Um, they'll come down to the bottom of the range, show no interest in breaking the bottom of the range, and so then the market maker is going to start buying. So it's going to switch from the sellers having control within that range to the buyers having that control within the range. And so when the party that has temporary control of the inside trend changes, we call that a rotation. When you get strong trend, what tends to happen is that the buyers will get their rotation enough to convince people to fade it, and then they'll turn it around and come and, stop you out, essentially. The other thing that's funny is I said, it makes me so mad. I'm going from like crushed to just absolutely pissed. All right. It came down to 27 and there was crazy. And I said that could potentially reverse. And they didn't do anything with it for a while. And then 27 went offer again, and I think 26 half went offer. And so that's when I decided to go short in that, because it looked like that they were holding that area and continuing through. And like literally right as I took that trade, everything flipped. Anyways, the other thing that makes me mad is that when you look at the strategy and the signals that I'm taking, there's a very clear edge in it. I think we all agree that there's definitely some edge in it to there. The problem in this equation right now is me, and I don't know what I've got to do to get myself out of this. Frustrated that they're not taking 30. Some of the bids in ZP in ZN have kind of faded a bit, although there are bids in the 30-year. I don't know. They might try and turn down for another run. The other problem though is that I've just been kind of bullish treasuries a little bit much, and the bear moves in treasuries have been much better trades, I think. I'll get my little pop and then they'll go short, and it just goes and goes and goes. Uh, well, it's a good thing that we got vacation next week. This huge range is quite nasty. It usually never holds where you think it will, and fades are hard to call sometimes. Yeah. I hope that watching me do this doesn't get you guys down. I hope that some of you are doing well today. Finally. Look at that stack. That was 4K at 30. What the hell? It pulled, but then let's see what happens. This edge may have just shown a natural hiccup to the positive expectations over the long run, or there is a flaw and we have to evaluate it. No, I don't agree with that. The problem is that the edge was there and it was short and I was taking longs. I mean, that's the thing. I think that Smash the Bid kind of gave pretty good explanation of where there were, indications that were making us that we were going to reverse down at the bottom, for instance, and things that were moving us down. Every time that had happened, though, I think the thing that was happening was I was already in a trade. I wasn't reading the signs very well. I wasn't getting out when I should have based on what I was seeing. Like if I'm wrong, I could have taken -2, had a -4 day, and then it just said, okay. Right? So, if I had been lucky and I was catching things right, I could have taken +2 on that original trade, seen the offers, been out, seen the offers, taken it short, and then made +4, +6, maybe even an 8 ticker on some of that, because that was a pretty crazy down run, right? But I didn't. And that was all me. It wasn't like, I don't know. I say that, but then I also said that I felt like every time I took the thing, it immediately turned it on me. So there must be some other things that maybe I'm missing. But I don't think, we could say there's a hiccup there, but I also think that Seth fucked up and did things that he shouldn't. And I feel bad, I feel like I committed a grievous sin. You know what I mean? Uh, like, we. I didn't start the stream to sit down and say, I'm so great. I started the stream as a learning thing and to make friends, and I think that it's done a good job of doing that. But sometimes when something like that happens, I feel bad, like, you know, um, uh, I don't want that to affect somebody negatively. Anyways, I'm probably just being a little silly, but jeez. Don't review the video. I don't even know if I really need to look at it. I know what happened. I know what happened. It would just be like a reliving a nightmare. Saying, why didn't I just go short there when I know that I should have? I can see. I remember the ticks. Exactly where it was, like, okay. Maybe should have gotten out there, Seth. No, man, my mouth is dry too. So I guess I have a few other thoughts. One is maybe I'm a little just tired because I have been working on my yard a lot. It is summer. That never helps. But I think maybe part of the reason why it feels so bad also is that I feel like I need to do something, but I know that probably the only thing that I should and can do is to just keep but trugging on and try and, uh, just take that experience and keep moving on. But it sure sucks. You know what I mean? It kind of sucks to see this one going as far as it is, too. Like, I wasn't crazy to be buying, I just wasn't reading the spots correctly. And there will probably be some naysayers out there that are probably going to try and give me shit now, too. Mm. But that's okay. Nobody wants to. I don't really care what scammer people are saying. Um, It's a pretty big iceberg there at 31. Pretty big offer at 31 and a half. I'm going to say profit. I think that I'm experiencing like a counter instinct as well. Did you try hitting a punching bag? I found that helps. Well, I'll definitely be going to the gym today. I think that this feeling that like I have to do something is like should really be the sign that you need to just have a fridge in the garage I punch. Man. Is that water on my chin? Yeah. E-mini is starting to look really negative to me. Fortunately, it's not really in a good spot to short it. Stickball, what happened? I just came. I was trying to remember. There was something about it. Anyways, I blew it. I made some boo. Seth made some boo boos. I lost 16 ticks. That's what happened. How did I let that happen? Gosh. All right, it's okay. Made a good one there at 31. Kind of wonder they might try and sell it short here again. Because there was a little bit of funny business there. And there's a big iceberg at 31. That Seth's a trader, that's pretty much what happened. I don't know, man. That's sort of the sort of thing that makes me sit there and be like, well, I shouldn't show anybody my trades, and I should just pretend like I'm profitable every day, like, yeah, like every other guy out there does. You know what I mean? Yeah, so trading is so it can be really, yeah. Yeah, 16 wasn't that the number in conversation yesterday? Yeah, I think that the thing was, yeah, you I know what you guys are just I know what you're saying, Izzy. It's I know that it's not an insult. You're saying, yeah, it's normal and it happens to everybody. I understand that. It shouldn't have happened. Oh, everybody does something like that. No, no, I lost 16 ticks stick. Here. I lost 16. I took a full stop on one. I took a full stop and was the one guy stopped out at, on slippage here. Like you literally saw it on the dom. I got stopped out and one went in at where were we? So I was short from 30 half. I was long from 30 half, and they went 1, 2, 3, 4, and then at 28, um, they they pulled back a little bit, and you saw one order into 28. Okay, so it was I was trading like dumb. I don't know. And then I took one at 29 that clearly was a bad idea. Well, that was at that point that it was like you're fading it, and I'm not sure that you have any edge anymore, and you should stop trading like that right there. That should have been stopping. And then I turn around and I take it and I did it again. And you add all of that up, it is 16 ticks. And at that point, because remember, I had only put in just enough to be able to trade the micro futures. So I basically started with like 550, 600 or something. Went your chart's upside down. Yeah. At one point I got it over 1,000. And then between the last two Fridays where I've screwed up big time, and then especially today, I threw it all away, basically. Hmm. This is not the first time I've been in this situation, but I don't think I've ever had one that bad. Like I have all sorts of rules and all this sort of a stuff to prevent me from ever getting to that point. And none of it helped. Well, I mean, I don't want to say none of it helped, but it was just I still did it. As you know. So like these two trades probably because at that point I don't want to lose more than 8 ticks in a day. Shouldn't have traded. Shouldn't have traded after 3 losers in a row. This one happened just before the equities open. Like I took it at 728. So I shouldn't have traded that. Look at how long I was in that for too. Not even 5 minutes. And did make 6 ticks on that one. I would do a lot better if I had I so the other thing I've been doing a lot of calculation and stuff, and I'm like, I really need to be able to trade two contracts in the treasuries. And I have the formula all set up and I know exactly what I need to do, but wow, you really do suck, Seth. Thanks. There really is a little too much discretion involved in your strategy. I think some automated signals would help you not rush into your next trade after a loss. Hmm. The problem I've had with my automated strategies is that they don't, even though some of them show edge, none of them are as good as me trading it on my own. The thing is I still believe that my read is pretty good, but I seem to go into tilt. Had a friend turn my charts upside down, and I started to do the opposite of what I normally do, and that's why I started to be profitable. So here's the thing with that one. What's last year, I had a great first quarter. I had a pretty good first quarter this year. I had a pretty good second quarter this year too. Um, and then I lost it really quickly like this, and I said, okay, now that one, it was like all of the sudden, all of the trades that normally worked for me stopped working. And so I said, I've got to go back and I need to figure out why it's not working anymore. What changed and what am I doing wrong? And I did a lot of research and I was able to discover what I was doing wrong. And then when I came out, you know, I was able to trade all the way into May and be doing okay on sim, of course, but Um, and so I thought things were okay. And then when I had some cash, I put it in. I actually was not planning on trading. I remember telling you guys I'm probably not going to trade until September. But then the micro futures came out, and I was like, well, I'm going to take advantage of that. So the micro futures came out, and I started seeing some trades in the treasuries. So I said, well, I have a little bit to play with. Let's just see what happens. And I did really, really well. And so I just kept going with it. And then I had those 2 Fridays where I think that I was um, some imperfect reads a little bit on those ones, but then some tilting. Um, yeah, and I was just reading Smash the Bits comment, and he's like, yeah, I think you understand this time. I think that you were around last year, right? I think that a couple of the other guys that are a little bit newer, but I think Smash understands me. When I start losing, I do poorly. I don't even think that it's that my uh that it like flips my psyche sort of a thing, if that makes sense. Like you lose and then you get mad and then you start making bad decisions because of that. I don't think that's true. I actually have found that I'm able to be pretty calm and rational when it ticks against me until sticks been around here for a year. Okay. Yeah. So you remember when I was the summer and I was absolutely terrible. That was the thing. So anyways, and that was why I was going into that. So during the summer, I was like, okay, I need to do the opposite of what I was doing. I need to just try and trade it range bound every time. And I still would get screwed over, you know? So that wasn't the answer. But I was finally able to sit down and realize when it was it going to move and when it wasn't, and mostly stay out of the times when it wasn't, and just get a tiny little winner here and there when it was. And wonder why treasuries are turning here. the way that they are. Oh, they're just ranging below 127. Anyways, I think that what happens to me is that when I get a loser, that my brain chemistry changes, that I don't have enough to keep my brain focused. You know what I mean? And I think that we finally took it to the point where um, we just like all come out. I mean, I felt a little bit like that the past 2 Fridays too. But this one makes me like right after that happened, I wanted to punch the monitor and like cry right on stream. Like I was so unbelievably like, ugh. And it's, something that bothers me is like my first thought is, how can it be doing that? This feels so unfair. It feels like the feeling I get is this isn't fair, which doesn't really make sense. Trade someone else's money? Well, I don't know if that really makes a difference because I've done it on Sim too. I don't think it makes a difference if it's my money or Sim. The only thing that changes when I'm on Sim is that when I have the really bad day, I just kind of brush it off. I don't have to go on, I don't have to talk to myself about it for an hour. It's literally been an hour. Need to slow down. Well, so one thing that my analysis on Friday showed me is that I really need to trade 2 contracts. I'm gonna need to have a lot more money to trade 2 contracts. It might be a long time before I'm able to trade the treasuries the way that I want. I may have to make it in the equities. If we start doing well in equities, it wouldn't take very much to bring it back up to where I could trade it again. But I was talking to a former bond pit, former floor trader who made a fortune in the pits, and he said he hates bonds. It's too whippy. He now trades only oil. That's super fucking weird. Oil is so random. Anyways, so I guess if there's anything that I need to do, it's that I need to practice 2 contracts on Sim and save up enough to be able to trade the treasuries on 2 contracts and continue to take trades in equities. You're saying that you were thinking about shorting it. I'm actually kind of thinking it's long right now. Well, we could take it down here. Let's just see if they don't go for a short. Okay, actually they may just break the low, yeah. Trade the 5-year? I don't think I can. Let's see. I remember we had a guy that was trading the 5-year for a while, but then I don't know why he stopped doing it for whatever reason. You remember him? Oh, I guess I can. I actually didn't actually blow the account, it says. I'm actually a little, oh, that's why. Now it will tell me that you can't do that. Yeah. But I could trade the 5-year. You're right. So the reason I'm thinking long is because the cumulative delta uh, overall, while we've come back, it doesn't outweigh the action that we had before, and the equities to me don't look like they are making a clear trend, at least not yet. I suppose if they keep moving lower, then they could. But right now, equities still appear to me to be doing the meat grinder kind of a thing. And they're only moving lower there because too many people tried to fade it. You know what I mean? You have too many charts open, that's losing focus, in my opinion. I don't know. Um, I just, man, Treasuries really moved up there. Nothing feels worse than when you have a trade and they go and they stop you out, and then they go and they do what you wanted it to do in the first place. If they break that high, ooh, ooh, and, and the only thought that goes through my head is it feels so unfair, even though that I know that that's not true. Anyways, most of the stuff that I have on the screen is just because it looks pretty. I could honestly, most of these things here I don't even really look at too often. I mostly just look at this. I actually think that I could probably trade okay with just the 10-year on it. Okay. If you have all these charts, you should have only one screen for your execution only. I don't quite understand. So I definitely need to have all of these four. Well, actually, I need all of the DOMs. I don't need any of the Vista charts. And my second screen, it's me. I don't really look at it. Never turned this on. So I don't know what I would have done. Might have tried to go long here. Hmm. Okay, so this one should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Another bond pit trader uses a naked 5-minute chart and only trades breakouts. That's interesting. What does he use to qualify it as a breakout, though? Because I kind of feel like that's kind of what I tend to like to do, but then it doesn't work. I thought that I had some good buying there, and it came back way too quickly. So that's not what I would like to see. Cool. And that did that the way I did not. It did not. You know what? I need to add a new one. Um, um, star is like the rest of it, right? Um, oh, no, the target should be. That's right. And that shouldn't have a target. It should be like that. Let's see if that's correct. Okay. That looks better. Yeah. I think that they may actually go down for another low. So one person is telling me that I made an unforced. Oh yeah, unforced error. That's what it was. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna wait here a little bit. Maybe the next 15 minutes. I kind of want to see what the equities do here. I think that this should be like this. Okay. Yes. Fine. Where's this? 2878, 20. Oh, no. 2879.50. Okay. That's how you trade breakouts, right? Trend line on the domino. Uh, I don't know. I kind of usually know where the spot is, right? But what happens is it'll tick up one tick or something from it, and you think, "Oh, this is great," and then they immediately flip it back down on you, and it's a false breakout. So that the question for a breakout strategy is always, how do you confirm that that's what's actually happening, and how do you kill it when it's not happening? And what if you trade the fake outs? Well, again, then the question is, how do you know that it's a fake? Actually, I can tell you one way that you can know that it's a fake is if we are clearly in a range and it stacks up as though it's breaking out, and then you don't see a lot of volume follow it, then you can fade that. And we use Seth to confirm the fake out when he gets stopped out. Yep. It sure is odd how lately my positions and stops have been in exactly the wrong place. It's really hard to feel like it's really hard not to feel like that the market's out to get you. Come on. Okay, cool. Wait, how does that um oh, I'm really confused. I think that I need to change this. I think that over here I need to show um mm, where is it? Recenter, hide account name, recenter. Uh, is it in here? Include close profit and loss. There we go. Okay. Now I can change that to 1. Move that to there. Okay. IQ never went to high school. What? We can see the Dom, Seth? Oh, you can't see the Dom. Sorry. So I took one at 28, 79, 75. 2. I got the first fill. I moved my stop to break even. I'm kind of trying to let it ride, but this is kind of like where I expected it to go, so I might actually just take that right there. I have to be careful though. I don't want to go short there. So I might need to change that, how that works. Cool. I think we should change how that works. So the target ticks should be, I don't know, let's just say 32. And can I change this if I just say, oh, you know what? I bet you I can do this. I think that I can say, I think that on this one, I can say that there's no stop. And this one, there's no target. Then this one, the stop is 12 and the target is 32, I think. Like that. Let's try that. Experiment. I want to change this to a 2. Wrong. So I should see 2 stops. Just get out of that. No stop and no target. What could possibly go wrong? Well, I'm trying to make it. Here's what I want to do. I want my target to be 10 and my stop to be 12. And then oh no, actually I'm doing this all wrong. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, target 10. That's 1. This other one is the stop. This is 12. No target. Set up on it. And then another one that I think I can move up. I don't know if it matters. This one will be target of 16. But that's the one that I will move. It seems complicated, dude. It is complicated. That means you make good money. Well, I lost pretty bad today. It's kind of fun so I stream on YouTube and Twitch, right? And I usually don't get a ton of people on Twitch. Because it's gaming and they're just not interested in that. So it's always fun when the Twitch guys come in. Okay. So am I doing that right now? Let's organize this a little better. 16. 12. E-mini is getting pretty little crazy. Why do you do that? Why do I stream to both? A lot of people are searching for this sort of thing on YouTube, so. Okay, that did not work. Why did that not work? Oh, did I not save it? No, I saved it. What if I just do it like this? I found this channel by YouTube recommendation. No, why do you make money in this way? Well, hold on a second. Let me make sure that I get this thing right. I'm really easily distracted. Okay. Well, it doesn't give me the stop. That's interesting. You saw that, right? I have a stop. It's quantity 2. It doesn't give it to me. Okay, so why do I trade this way? So let's talk about technical analysis for a second. Technical analysis states that everything that everybody knows or that is public about this particular stock or company, or in this case, Treasury futures, is reflected in the chart of that instrument. Well, the problem with that is that if I'm going to come out and I'm going to buy 100,000 contracts of Treasuries, price is going to move up. And I can be planning on doing that all day, and you would never know, and the chart would never know. And so the chart gives you a really good idea of what has happened in the past, but it doesn't really tell you what's going to happen in the future. The best indication that we have of the future, and honestly, nothing is really a sure shot, but the best indication of what's going to happen in the future that we have is what is happening right now. And so we can see some indications of if somebody is starting to do something like that, that they may continue to do so. And so you can take it as she goes, essentially. So what we have is my DOM is essentially showing me how many orders went off at every price and how many limit orders there are at every price and how those orders are reacting to the changes so that I can get a full picture of what the market is doing right now. And because I'm able to read the volume essentially, you have a much higher probability on a short-term basis of making a good trade. Now, this strategy tends to work pretty good. Say you get a pretty good probability, but it's extremely difficult to trade as well. You've got to be on the ball, and I've just been so off today. Why is this not? So if I have 2 that are for targets and I don't have a stop, why doesn't it put a stop in there? So bizarre. Let's delete everything. Okay, we'll add 1 and we'll say quantity 2, stop ticks 12, all that. Okay, so if I take that, boom. Okay, And then I'm going to add another one that is just 1. And its target is 10. And another one that's target is 32, we're going to say. Okay, there's 2 stops. And now it doesn't give me the targets. You have to select the strategy within the trades. I've definitely done that. I've definitely done that. I had to reset day trader for my strategy to work. I mean, changing it definitely did something, but I don't know. Jeez. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. See, but then it gives me 2, which is not what I want. Check OCO on okay. So you're saying on these 2? I don't think it should make a difference because these aren't going to be oh, no, but I get what you're saying. It should be set up like this. Is what you're saying. Come on. Come on, it's not deleting them now. Okay. You're saying that this one should be 1, and this should be 12 and 10, and one order cancels the other. And this one should be the rest, and its stop should be 12, and its target should be 32. Cool. So now if I come back here and I change this to 1 and I get out of this, it doesn't. I was hoping that that would, you know, if I change this one, then it gets rid of it. It doesn't. There's not really a very good way for me to cancel the one or the other. I wish that I could just change it between 1 and 2 more easily. Now, if I do it like this, does that work? Cool. Then what'll happen? Nothing. But I can cancel that. And oh. That's probably not the way that we want to do it. So I guess we should have both of these set to be OCO. Okay. So now if I exit one of them, okay, it'll still be like that. But if I want to get rid of the one, I can just do that. And then it's like that. Okay, well, I feel a little bit better now, but I guess I feel a little bit better because I got a winner. Let's see here. That winner actually made a big difference. I wonder, probably still, yeah. I have to see how bad it is. I feel dumb. Blowing an account. I mean, it's not blowing the account, but essentially blowing the account in Treasuries live. 16 ticks in one day is pretty much the worst trading I've ever done, and is pretty embarrassing. But it happens. All right, I will catch you guys tomorrow. In the meantime, stay profitable.